So I did not
And
expect
you were
him to
hoping I
sit
was going
there.
to sit next to you.
But then when I saw you there, I was like, wow, yes, he is there.
Меня зовут Sergey. My name's Serge. We'll do this in English, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is Dasha, my soon-to-be wife. So we're pretty excited. Our friends, family, just a lot of people, we keep saying the same things over and over. So we decided to make a video, and hopefully you all could watch the video before we have to.
Video about how we met.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing. So I'll start off a little bit. I think it was like late October. I was trying to go overseas. I really wanted to meet a girl. I just set up meet a girl, and my friend Demian, the YouTube guy, the truck driver guy on YouTube, he told me like a year ago. He said, "Serge, we keep talking about business, but you just need to find a girl and get married." So I think that's the next thing you need to do in life until you do any kind of business stuff. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. You know me well enough to say things like that. So 2020, I really made a mission to meet a girl, serious. And so I was just taking all kinds of action to finally find her. Doing everything. Going through all the garbage that's on the online dating sites. Just doing a lot of work. And made some interesting friends. But they weren't the one. And try to go to Europe to meet a nice European girl. And I met her here in the United States because I got stuck in Miami, couldn't fly out to Europe because they wouldn't let us go because the second lockdown happened in Europe. So wasted a lot of time on that, a lot of money. And I end up at a church here in Miami, U Church, and meet this nice girl, and I got her Instagram. And that's about it. And about 2 weeks later, we went on a date, right? 2 weeks after I got your Instagram.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, about 2 weeks later, I was like, hey, she's kind of interesting. So I messaged her.
He was texting me a lot, like a lot. He was like recording the audio messages
The first 2
every
weeks?
morning. Yeah, and he was texting me on Instagram a lot, and like
that's
asking
all I
some like
had. That's all
personal
I had
questions.
Well,
He
yeah.
was texting me
Okay,
a
so
lot.
I had kind of a little script that I kind of developed over a while, just asking girls. Like, I really figured out what kind of girl I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. I really had many conversations, and I narrowed it down to a list of like 100 questions I could ask. I've made lists of questions to ask girls, but by this time it's already been in my head like on autopilot. I could casually ask a lot of questions, and they'd think, oh, it's just friendly guy. But really, I was really prospecting, and I was like, wow, this girl has answered so many in the way that I really, really like. They've blown my mind. And so I was like, okay, I'll just give her my phone number. This is about 2 weeks of Instagramming. So I just said, okay, you seem kind of interesting. Would like to talk to you on the phone. Call me if you want. That's it. And I leave it at that. And I expected never to hear back from her again. I was like, this is probably going to be one of those awesome girls that God gives you like 3 times in your life and you blow it. And sure enough, couple hours later, that same day, she calls me. You want to tell me the story how that happened?
Yeah, so I was at work, just a regular day at work, and he like kept texting me that morning and Instagram messages, and he gave me his number and just like told me like call sometime if you want, and I pretty much ignored it. I was like, I'm not gonna call. I'm at work. Like I'm busy. I'm not gonna call.
I meant like any time,
But I wouldn't call. I wouldn't call later in the evening. I wouldn't.
She was planning to never call me.
Yeah, and then like suddenly our office. Who was it? IRS.
IRS. Stormed their office. And
came to arrest my boss. They said like you didn't pay taxes, so you pay them now, or we're gonna arrest and we close your office for at least a day until you pay the taxes.
So basically, she got a day off.
Yeah, so it was like 11 a.m.
They were like, it's not your fault. You can go, but we're gonna.
It was like 11 a.m. and I was like, well, I have a like free time, and I was like, he gave me his number, so I was like, maybe it's a sign. And I'm calling him and telling him the story that like my boss got almost arrested. And what were you thinking about it when I called you?
When I called, I met the people from the U Church, Anton and Mila, and they were like, and I told them, hey, I'm trying to figure out paperwork to go to Europe, and they let me stay at their house, and so. As a consequence, you're working with the guy you're living with, So I was working with Anton, and I was like, hey, what about that girl Dasha? And he's like, I don't know her too well, but he said a couple good things about her. I was like, okay, great. I was like, guess what? She called me. And she told me some pretty personal stuff. I think I'm kind of special. He's like, yeah, maybe you are. I was like, so I'm going to need the day off in like 2 hours. He's like, well, paint really fast, and you could leave the job site in an hour. I was like, sweet. So I told her in the phone call, I told you, she was kind of upset, and I was trying to calm her down, and I was like,
I would lose my job. So.
Yeah, she thought she'd lose. I said, don't worry, I could get you a job. And I was like, this is awesome. She needs a job, and she's cool. So I was like, well, don't worry about it. There's this and all the other problems in the world can be solved by the simple thing called the beach, the ocean. So let's go. I got a paddleboard. Needless to say that it was like a very bad time to go to the ocean because there was like a Cat 7 category hurricane. Just kidding.
Red flags.
Yeah, there was like single red flags, which means like dangerous, hazardous.
And I was like, are you sure it's a good time? It's a good day.
I was like, yeah, I was like, every day is a good day for paddleboarding. Are you kidding me?
No one at the beach.
Nobody at the beach. So we're paddleboarding. We go out on my paddleboard. I was like, man, she's a tough girl trying to go against these waves. Martin and some other guys that I've taken paddleboard have like chickened out way before something, these violence of waves. But she's like holding it through. And I was like, why is she like this? Is she crazy? Were you crazy? What was going on? Why?
I just like the
adventure.
Adventure and
so I put her on the paddleboard, and I'm like pushing her out. We're going out to sea. The waves are pushing us back. It's kind of fun. It
was fun.
And then we're like,
we were laughing hard.
Yeah, we were laughing hard because the waves knock you down, and I mean it's violent waves. It's not like a laughing matter. And I was like, wow, she's, I was kind of getting tired, and then we got back to the shore, and then I was like, well, let's just swim, or whose idea was it to swim? Yours? Mine?
Yours. Of course yours. Crazy
My
idea.
And then we almost drowned. We almost died. This is the first day we're meeting.
Yep.
I was like, so we're swimming, and we're having fun, just swimming with no paddleboard, no life jacket, nothing, right? Mm-hmm. And then next thing we know, somebody's whistling to us, with a whistle. And I look back.
From the beach.
Yeah, they're way out in the beach. It's a four-wheeler with a lifeguard on the four-wheeler. Now, keep in mind,
come back.
Lifeguard shacks are all boarded up, closed. No lifeguards on duty. But this guy pulled up to save our lives. And he's like whistling, and I look back, and I was like, I think they're whistling to us. And I like stand up, I stop swimming, and I can't feel the bottom. And I was like, oh, we can't stand, we're out way too far. And I was like, Dasha. I grabbed her hand and pulled her in front of me and said, swim to shore, swim to shore. And then I'm trying to swim to shore to save my own life.
But we didn't realize at the moment that
we didn't realize at the
dangerous.
moment. When we got to the shore, I looked back and I was like, I think that was a riptide or a rip current sucking us into the ocean. And, well, I was kind of tired when we got back to shore, but like not like.
Okay.
Yeah, I was okay too. Maybe we could handle a little bit of riptide. I don't know. Was it really a riptide?
I don't know, but I had fun and I didn't realize
We had
that
fun.
it was
We had
dangerous.
fun. We didn't realize it was dangerous until afterwards. So then we just walked on the beach and talked.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I guess it's time to go. And you want to try my piece of junk diesel Jetta? And she's like, oh, this is just like Grandpa's car. So I was trying to teach her how to drive stick. And at the same time, I was like, what would a girl, like an awesome, beautiful girl, be doing getting in this piece of junk car with me and, like, not, like, looking at it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just like talking to you and getting to know you. And this car it was like new for me experience.
Yeah, it was a fun experience. I taught her how to do the clutch in first and second gear, and it was kind of fun in the parking garage. Yeah. And I was like, wow, maybe she's not a gold digger. That's kind of cool, you know. Nothing, you know, no judgment at all yet, you know, but I was like, a gold digger would probably not be interested in a Volkswagen Jetta turbo diesel. We really did have fun. So then what happened? After that ended, I was like, well, what'd we do, right? Did we talk a couple more times? Or right away? The next day, maybe I asked?
Me.
Yeah, I kept texting. I thought, I got to get her out on a second date. Awesome girl. Let's go. I really wanted to ice skate. Haven't ice skated in the longest time. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, they had some ice arena. So our second date is ice skating.
And tell the way how we got to ice skate arena.
Yeah, so I said, you know, it's kind of a half an hour drive there, at least for both of us.
40 minutes.
40 minutes, a long drive. So I said, why don't we drive together, and why don't you pick me up because your car has air conditioning and my diesel junk Jetta doesn't. So she pulls up in the car, and the man ego in me does not like a girl to be driving, especially on first date, you know, or second date, you know, like when you're like just getting. And I was like, you know, this is weird, but get out of the driver's seat. I'm driving.
I was like, it's my car. I'm going to drive my car.
I said, no, you're not. Get out. I'm driving. And I get in the driver's seat, and the headlight switch is broken. The headlight switch is broken. And she goes, oh, don't mind that. It's dangling on the wires. I broke it with my knee because I'm such a tall girl. You know, and I was like, that's exactly what happens to me all the time. I bump into things because I'm so tall. Finally, somebody that understands me. I love this girl. You know, of course, I didn't say it to her to creep her out yet, that I love her. But I was like, I love this girl. This is awesome. Finally, someone can understand why I bump into things. You know, because she's 6'0", I'm 6'2". And so I'm driving the car, and the steering wheel is like doing like this when you're going straight, even like at 5 miles an hour. And I was like, what's wrong with your car? The steering wheel is not supposed to be doing that. And, you know, and you're a really brave girl to have bought a car by yourself, got your license, and, like, figured out how to change oil in it. Like, can you believe that?
That's my first driving experience, so
Yeah,
I didn't know that
yeah.
car needs to be changed oil.
Yeah, so, I mean, later, that's a whole nother story. But I was like, your steering wheel not supposed to be doing that. And you know what she tells me? What did you say? Why does it do that? I said, why is your steering wheel doing this? It shouldn't be doing it.
Кривая дорога.
She said, the road is crooked. I said, the road's not crooked everywhere. It's doing this everywhere we go. Look, we turn right, we turn left, and even down the interstate, going 80 miles an hour, it's still jerking. And she's like, don't be driving 80 miles an hour. And I'm saying, hey, it's okay. In Miami, everyone drives 100, so 80 is still 20 less.
The Focus that I had car is not for 80 miles an hour. Maximum it can do like 70.
That's why we got rid of it. So we get to the skating rink, but before we pull in, the low tire lights up. And I was like, oh, looks like you got an issue. So anyways, we get out of the car, and I check her tires, and there's wires poking out of the tires. And I was like, how can you be driving a car with wires poking out of the tires? your dad should have helped you with the tires or something. Somebody,
But
I
my
don't.
dad is not in this country, so
Dad's in Russia.
I am by myself.
So
how do I know that I need to change
I was
tires?
like, listen, we got to get you tires tonight or tomorrow. She's like, no, we can do it next week. I was like, no, 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 no. So Anton, he recommended a tire shop. The next day, I called her. I said, we got to get you tires today. She was like, yeah, next Tuesday is fine. And I was like, listen, get in the car and meet me at the shop in 15 minutes. And what did you...
I did that.
Yeah, she did that. You don't like to do it, right? You were like...
No, I thought it could wait. I thought
thought
it could wait. I was like, yeah, let's do next week when I'm available.
Yeah, and thank God we did that. We got...
But then he was like, no, your life is at risk, so do it now.
I was like, listen, you're going to be slamming on the brakes sometime because some idiot's going to pull in front of you, and because you have zero tread, your car's going to skid, and it's not a good sight. And that's exactly what happened. The next day, Monday, a bunch of flash flood water, right? Mm-hmm. And you could be hydroplaning like that. If you don't know what hydroplaning, it means like water skiing because the water has nowhere to go because there's no tread. And yeah, the brakes aren't going to help you there. You need more than brakes at that point. So we got new tires, and when she showed up to pick up the tires, meet me at the tire shop, I was like, wow, well, this is like a sneaky date number 3 that I get. So I was like, while you're getting tires, let's go get a smoothie in my Volkswagen Jetta. So that's what we did. We got a smoothie, and I was like, man, this girl's gorgeous. I was like, for 15 minutes of warning and meet me here at the shop, and I was like, man, she's awesome, So I was like,
well, he's taking care of me in my car and like thinks about it like my life is at risk. So
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good first car, and so. Oh, while we were ice skating, tell the story of ice skating, how that went. Because I keep talking.
So we were ice skating, and he grabbed my hand, so I know, so I don't fall.
Good excuse to hold hands.
So I don't fall. Yeah.
Sneaky smooth, huh?
And then like we were talking and just having a good time.
Until I fell on the ice. Man, they got these holes in the ice in the Florida skating rinks. She fell in them like twice, but I did like 8 times.
Yep.
Get all my pants wet because they can't freeze the ice all the way. It's not the best place to go ice skating. But keep going. What did I say? I said so much stuff to you that day.
I don't really remember, but the thing that you told me, like, let's go with me on a trip. Yeah? That's what you told me?
I was like... Well, I didn't want to like over.
He was like, "Yeah, I work. I am a truck driver, so I go on trips.
I sell an info product. I do a couple other things, a YouTube channel, blah blah blah. I just started telling her a bunch of stuff that was going to overload the average person's brain. But
no, it was like official second date, and he told me like, let's go with me on a trip.
Yeah,
that means to go like a week at least with him together in a truck.
Well,
I was kind of...
Yeah, I said, you know what, just tell me to get out of here and tell me that I'm crazy, and I'll disappear. But I like you, so far I like everything about you. I know we've only gone out
He said,
twice.
I kind of like you.
I kind of like you, playing a little bit.
I was like, what do you mean, kind of?
Well, yeah, because I only known you a little bit. I'd like to get to know you better, and... the best way to get to know somebody is to go on a trip with them. Some kind of trip, vacation, airplane flight, a road trip, something where you could be together and
for a long time.
And automatically in those types of situations there becomes tough situations. Mm-hmm. There's great situations, but then there's tough situations where the two of you have to figure it out. Right?
Right. Because it's fun to go on a date, ice skating, and just walk and just have a good time.
Where you have your makeup on.
But it's a different
perfect.
situation when you wake up together or something.
Yeah, and when you're away, when you can't go home, when you can't excuse yourself, and that's where you really get to know each other. So I had a couple things to take care of in West Florida, and check out a truck, maybe go on the road trucking. And we ended up taking the paddleboard and paddleboarding in Naples. And in we seen St. Petersburg. We seen Sarasota, maybe or
Clearwater.
Clearwater. We hung out there.
In Naples, you said it.
Yeah, Naples. And so and we got the motorhome. Was it there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was in St. Pete.
I thought, let's go pick up the motorhome and drive it somewhere, right? Drive it to Miami, right?
Yeah.
So then we drove it to Miami. So that took like 3 days or so, or a couple. And and we went to the race. We seen that the race is going on. We thought, let's stop at the race. I thought, she loved the race. She loved seeing Cletus and cars. That's in the previous video. I have a look for it. It was put up about a month ago. So she enjoyed herself there, and I was like, wow, awesome girl. We really got to know each other better. And then when we came back to Florida with a buddy, we went to, where did we go? Isla Morada. So that was another little thing. And she says, what did you say? Let's go to Savannah, Georgia sometime. Wait.
And we kind of liked being on a trip together. And we learned a lot about each other during those trips, and it helped us to get closer.
But wait, let's fast forward to the part, or go back. We skipped a part before, because when I asked her at the skating rink, I said, listen, we should go together. Tell me about your job. It's not a real serious job. It's a good job. But I said, I think you can go with me. You can leave your job and go with me.
Yeah.
And she said, all this sounds crazy. Give me a week to think about it. And I thought, okay, this is over.
No, he said, quit your job and go with me. That's what you said.
Yeah. I just, yeah.
And it was our second date. That's what he told me. Quit your job and go with me.
Straight to the point.
I was like, what?
I was ready for her to say, you're crazy, get out of here. And I'd be like, okay, add you to...
And I was like, give me a week at least.
Add you to the internet friend zone, to all the other people that just, I don't see face to face. And we just... So I was like, okay, a week. And I think at the time I only had like $500 left. And I was like, a week, I got to stay in Miami for a week. And without trucking, but the info product kept selling, and I kept getting enough money to pay. By this time, I was in a hotel room now because I overstayed my welcome at Mila and Anton's house. Thanks for all the hosting me. I think they hosted me for 10 days, and I was like,
But during that week that he stayed at hotel, we were meeting every day after work.
Yeah, after work,
after shop.
Yeah, it's more things to fix on the car.
He was like, you need to change oil.
Change her fuel canister.
Something.
Charcoal canister was bleeding through and flooding the engine every time you start it.
I think he was making it up just to meet me.
No, I was like, cool. Yeah, she didn't really care to meet. She was like, okay, I only got 15 minutes for you to fix my charcoal canister.
Because I was tired at work, and then I wanted to go home, but he was like, you need this. And
then
I was like, okay, my car is fine.
And the day the flash flood happened, her fender linings got ripped out and caught in the rubber of the tire, right? Mm-hmm. And she's it's grinding against the tire. So I was like, well, that's the easy thing this. Zip ties can fix. So we zip tied it together and traded it into the Lexus dealer.
Mm-hmm. But I was thankful that he helped me a lot.
I gave her a little present, gave her an auxiliary wire for her car.
Such a present.
What? You were happy with that. You were finally, she could drive with music. That's more than the radio.
Right.
So then what happened?
And then...
So the week is going by, we're going out. And then Saturday comes. She's like, not really giving me the answer. She's like, yeah, kind of. And that Saturday was the picnic, the church picnic, right? Yeah.
But when did we go on a paddleboard to where all their boats and yachts? Where we decided to go on a trip together?
I don't know. We'll have to check that.
Was it Sunday? No.
But there was a time on the Jetta. We still did it on the Jetta. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we went paddleboarding here to an island to a sandbar. And that was like a really good moment where
cool
we...
That's when we decided to go on a trip and like we decided to stick together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
that was a real bonding day. We paddleboarded far. And we paddleboarded far back. And we made it back, and then we're just swimming at the beach. Real nice park. And the sun was setting, and it was kind of a good moment.
Yeah, it was good times.
Yeah? That's all you're going to tell them? So, then what happened?
And then we went to St. Pete, Clearwater.
Yeah. But wait, what about the basketball game?
Yeah,
we already had the motorhome here. I think we already had the motorhome here, right?
That was after we
so we went to St. Pete, we came back, got the motorhome here in Miami. I thought maybe find a job, find a place, I don't know, something. And what happened, we went to the church picnic, and afterwards she had the basketball game to go to. Her team was playing. She's like, Serge, I got to show you the basketball game. So I was like...
My team where I played.
So we had like 2 appointments. So
games.
Everybody at church, we kind of like left the picnic early. That was kind of rude, but we had to go to the basketball game. So I'm like, not a problem for me. I can drive a car. So boom, we're doing 80 down the interstate, and sure enough, the high temperature light goes on.
I was like, again, he broke my car.
Yeah, so we pull over, we coast, I turn the engine off, and the radiator hose clamp is down the hose. When someone repaired it, she had previous repair on the heater pipe, they didn't put the hose clamp on correctly. So I had to put it on with pliers that fortunately they sold at the... Anyways, in 5 minutes, I had the hose clamp back on. We filled it with water that cost $3 a gallon from the refrigerator in the gas station. And we made it to the basketball game without us being too late. And she was like...
For the second half, we came.
Yeah. So she was like... Were you kind of impressed at my car knowledge by then?
Yeah. He was just, without any equipment, fixed the car that was... Steaming. We opened the
hood?
The hood, and it was steaming.
Yeah, so
he put the water on it, and it was like... Psh! I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, we didn't overheat the engine, but almost did. And so all this time I was like, she's really tall in the car. I'm really tall in the car. We need, she needs a bigger car than that. And I was trying to convince her an SUV. Oh, yeah, we went to the beach once. And on the way back, I was like, you want to see what an SUV feels like? Let's go test drive one at the Lexus dealer. Let's go test drive an NX and an RX. And so tell them how that went. You enjoyed the SUV feel, right?
I did.
And you told the dealer so much how you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And what did they do?
They almost sold us a car.
A brand new Lexus NX. And I was like, no, I got to do 2 things. Test drive 2 cars. And they wouldn't... I don't know why they didn't offer to test drive an RX. And eventually that's what we bought, an RX, which is...
cooler than that we did test drive on.
It's a little bigger, and it's more to our budget, and it's a used car that's not going to depreciate as much, and much more value for us.
So after we came back from that trip...
That little trip...
We were planning a new trip.
Yeah,
no, after we came back from Isla Morada, we started planning a new trip. Yeah, we went to Isla Morada
with Dima too. Talking to them about car hauling stuff. We're always talking about car hauling, business stuff, meeting people, coffee, always, right? That's all we're doing nonstop. Annoying Serge this entire time, right? And I was like,
just a little bit.
I was like, how can this girl be handling this? But somehow she was, and she's liking it or liking me. I don't know what. But I think both. And so I was like, well, okay, so we went on enough mini trips in Florida that we know each other well enough that we like each other. Like, that occurred in my mind, and I might have mentioned that to her. And she's like, well, I want to go to Savannah. I want to go to Jacksonville. And I was like, yeah, I want to hit up a couple cities too. And I thought, let's take the motorhome up there. And my mom was visiting my aunt in Spartanburg. And I was like, okay, well, I could introduce you to my mom and my aunt, and we could hit up Biltmore Estate at the same time and hit up maybe Savannah. So that's what we did. We went and seen Savannah on the motorhome. She drove the motorhome a little bit.
Oh,
she even drove it in the rain.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
I was like, that's an awesome girl.
You are in control of such a huge car.
So, so then what happened? So we went, seen my aunt, seen some of my friends in town in Spartanburg area, seen my mom. We took my mom and her and Dasha. We went to Biltmore Estate. And all this time, I was like, okay, Christmas is coming December. December's like a good month to propose, you know. And I thought...
Wait, I just realized.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you said that you set a goal to get married this year, in 2020.
2020,
and
yeah.
you were like, okay,
that was
it's
my New Year's
December, it's almost the end of the year, so I gotta propose, or like I don't achieve my goal. So that's why you proposed.
No.
Oh, okay,
No.
I see.
No, wait. Let me say something that I also...
Not because he loved me and he wanted to propose me, just because he wanted to.
Wait, about a week before we meet, and I decided to go to Europe, before I even ended up a week before in Miami, I prayed to God. I was like, God, help me, buddy. It was like it wasn't like a, like, hey, God, I worship you type prayer and like a long prayer. It was like, hey, buddy. Hey, friend. I need you, pal. It was like Kit, you know. It's like, hey, I need you, pal. And the prayer was like, God, just help me find a normal girl, and I need her quick. Just do it. That's it. That was the prayer. You know, I like said that to God, and I was like, and I was taking action. You know, God could only steer a moving car. He can't steer a parked car. You know, and I took a lot of action, and I was like, I'm going to go to Europe. I got myself an apartment there. Basically lined up a few girls to talk to out there that I met on the internet, and I thought I'll meet more and whatever. And boom, here she is, already in the United States. An amazing
and you don't
Russian
need
girl.
To go.
Yeah, I don't even need to go. And so, yeah, like real serious thoughts like this in my mind. And I shared a few with her, and I was like, wow. She doesn't think I'm crazy, you know, and she, you know, she thinks it's okay to move things along this fast. And I was like, okay. So when we get to Spartanburg, remember the whole day that you were spending with my cousin? And I said, I'm with my uncle. I went to stores to look for rings.
Oh.
That whole time. And I was like so discouraged. I was like, oh man, like, this town is so small and you can't find what I mean, and my uncle was like, hey, maybe I'll go with you, or he was asking me. I was like, no, leave me alone. It's like the only like 5 hours I have to myself to go find a ring. And what I should have done, she did show me her class ring before, or right, the college ring.
Yeah.
But I didn't make a note on how the size of it on my finger, on one of my fingers, like where. And I was like, kind of like guessing, and it was kind of like, I was like, man, that was so not smooth, Serge. You could have done better than that. So, yeah, I don't know if it's like supply and demand in 2020. Nobody has anything at a store, but Spartanburg was not a good place to shop for a ring at that time, and so I asked her, yeah, you want to say how Biltmore went or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
so the
nervous.
whole day was like, he was looking at me so weird. Like,
I was...
Like, he was looking at me, thinking about something. I was like, what? What's wrong with me? What? Why are you looking at me like that? And then I was like, asking him, like, what? But I wasn't thinking about that he's gonna me propose that day.
Yeah, I was like thinking, I was like, I'm gonna do it. in a couple hours.
Yeah, and then it was
but
like
I was nervous too. And
beautiful view at Biltmore. It was outside. It was freezing. Like what? It was like 30 degrees.
Oh yeah, it was cold. I don't even know if we'd make it there. I don't even know if we towed the diesel Jetta in the motorhome all the way to Spartanburg and drove that
Okay, I'm talking
to
about.
Biltmore. I thought we wouldn't make it. I thought the car would break down.
Anyways, it was beautiful view, beautiful mountains, sunset, just amazing house that Biltmore, and there was как беседка.
A gazebo, but before we get to that, we got to get rid of the third wheel, my mom. Nothing against you, Mom, but I was like, oh, like, you know, I wanted to take them both out to the place, but I had also an agenda. You know, I had something to get done on my list before sunset, at sunset, and I was like, maybe I should ask Mom to help, which she kind of could have, but, you know, you really want that moment to be alone. And then Mom's like, I'm kind of tired. Can I sit in the car and warm up and eat lunch? I was like, yes, you can, Mom. Let me go show you where the car is, where I parked it, so you don't get lost and come back looking for us. And meanwhile, it's freezing. We're like, so onward, we're going. Did that thing record? That was 36 minutes. Yeah, that recorded. So, no more phone calls. I put it on airplane mode. So we're like, we're cold, but it's so beautiful. Biltmore,
Yeah.
you all should go out there. We wanted to see Biltmore at Christmas. It's a little bit disappointing. Spring is probably the best time to go. But
Probably, but still, the nature is beautiful. Those mountains and sunset and
really romantic setting.
yeah, and
It's-
the house itself.
And so I was like, what's a good spot out here? At first, when we first went to the gazebo on top, I was like, this is the spot.
Yeah.
Remember on the hill?
Mm-mm.
When we come in before we go to the house up the hill where we raced running up the hill.
Okay.
And up there, I thought doing up there with the view of the Biltmore house.
Okay.
That was beautiful there. I was
Yeah.
like, this would be good, but Mom was down there taking pictures of us. And I was like, I was
You
looking
wanted to do it in the beginning? Because it was even before we
Well,
went to house.
Yeah, that was before the house. I just wanted to do it. I just wanted to, I was like nervous the whole time
But
until
that
I get it done.
time at sunset was perfect, so you did
Yes.
the right,
Oh,
you did
thanks
the right
for
thing.
saying that. So I was
did the
like
right
looking, and they got that other gazebo in the back, and I was like, okay, this is going to be my gazebo. Someone did propose like right before us, right? Or
No,
after us there?
It was after in front
Afterwards,
of the tree.
we seen someone in the Christmas tree,
Yeah.
which kind of looked not the best.
Mhm.
That Christmas tree is not.
Yeah, it was awful
Yeah.
decoration.
Biltmore, you need to fix your tree or plant a new one or something. Anyway, so I see this gazebo, the one inside, kind of toward the back of the house.
Oh wow! Look at this beautiful view with mountains and sun.
I would have to say on the south side of the house. As far as I know, that was the south. I was like, this is going to be the spot. And like, you could see people coming from far away. So you'd know that you could have your space when no one's coming. And I was like, perfect. I got like 4 minutes. Nobody's coming.
Yeah, and then he hugged me and he was like, "Dasha."
Okay.
I was like, "Oh, that's the moment."
Really? Did you know? No?
Yeah,
You did? Like right
I mean,
away?
because you looked at me in a different way, and then I memorized all those looks that he gave me during the day. I was like, "Yep."
This has got to be it, huh?
Yeah, and he was like, "Dasha, I think we know each other enough time to do something like a next step. I love you and I want you to be mine." I was like, "Oh, I wanted to."
So yeah, we got a couple of pictures from the tripod, still frozen hands. By this time, we're like, I think,
But our hearts
Yeah.
were warm.
thank God they had the little house, greenhouse, something, the plant house, botanical garden, indoor or something like that.
That's where we were.
We went there
Warm
and
up.
warmed up, and the camera got foggy because it was so cold. The lens was
Yeah.
so cold.
Watch our video from Biltmore.
We're gonna upload it now
Yeah.
that we fixed the iPad. So very special place for us, and I was when we were going to Biltmore, I knew we were also planning to go to Galtenberg, and I was gonna but the thought was there. I haven't planned it all out, but the thought was there that it should happen there.
Thompson.
Yeah, and possibly happen at Biltmore. Mm-hmm. And the closer it got, I was like, I was really nervous. I was really.
Real?
It could have not happened. Yeah, the whole. We almost talked about not going to Biltmore too, right?
Yeah.
We did, and I was like, man, like I don't want to miss the opportunity to make it there. And anyways, so we got the correct ring with everything, and I kind of like didn't have her pick it out, even though she said I want the one like that, but a different one. But I had already gone to the guy's store, and I already picked out the one I think she wants. And I was like, dude, that's the one we did. And I winked my eye at him, and he was like, yeah, that's good. Did you see that part? No, when we were at the mall. Yeah. So, and then. Yeah, I picked the diamond the day before, and he put it in, and we picked it up the next morning, and I presented it to her on Christmas. So,
yeah, but this is a story.
That's our story, and you're welcome to do the same thing. Oh, the tires thing. Right? Anton and Mila said how they met pumping up the tires on the car, and, like, our first date, too, but tires were low on the Jetta, and then your car. And I was like, this got to be a sign. So, our friends Anton and Mila, they met at a gas station pumping up tires, ended up getting married. So, when like we were going out on our first date, and then the second date, we needed to pump up the tires. I was like, "This is a good sign."
Well, it wasn't a sign for me. When I first met him in first couple dates, I did not expect anything to happen, anything serious. No, I was just having a good time, and you telling me a lot of funny stories, and I don't know. I just liked spending time with you and talking to you, but I did not like plan something serious with you.
What would you tell to guys that, like, I wanted to be serious with you, but I didn't want to creep you out? You know what I mean? What would you? I did some creepy things and tell you like straight to the point stuff. That's like, why didn't it creep you out? Were you looking for someone too? Were you like really serious?
I was looking for a serious relationship, yes. But when you told me those like that you have serious intentions, I was like, well,
prove it.
I liked it. I liked it that you were like straight to the point, and you told me that I like you and I want to like spend more time with you.
But I didn't overdo it a lot, because you tease me a lot that I say kind of. You know, because each time I told you my serious intention, I said, but that's what I know so far, and I hope there's more good stuff. You know, I also made it clear that I'm not like in love with you, even though I don't know you. Right? I made that clear every time. I think that's important, right?
And I wanted him to know me better and say it without kind of word.
Yeah, but I didn't mean that. Sometimes I did kind of tease it. You know, she's like, she did message me the one time on Instagram, but I thought you liked me. And we haven't even met at that time, right?
At church only.
Well, at church only we talked. And I was like, wait, I don't even know you to like you.
No, let me tell the story, because after we met the first time at church, the next morning I received a message on Instagram saying like, "Oh, Dasha, I've been thinking about you a lot. He told me basically that he likes me." And then a couple days later he was like, "What did you say?" Something that like made me to think about if he likes me, and I was like joking, asking me, "So do you like me or not?"
Yeah, you can't,
because first you told me that you like me, and then you were like, "Oh no, maybe I was like."
Well, I try to say that I had a good impression. See, you got to flirt, you got to play the game. You can't just be like, "Oh, I like you, I like you, I like you, I'm crazy," and then the girl's gonna think, "Why is this guy?" You know. You don't want to act like that. You want them to invest too. Right?
Yeah.
You can't be like head over heels over somebody even though you don't know them.
But I was so shocked when I received a message that like he's thinking about me.
And then
I didn't expect it at all.
You told me at a dream we went to Russia. Remember that?
Yeah,
tell me that too.
Yeah,
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Tell me about that. So you were thinking about
just
me too.
a week. It was a dream. It wasn't like I'm thinking about him.
Wait, what about
it was
the
just
part
a dream.
where I seen the too much indicators of interest from you? Can I mention some of those? Well, not too much, but like the obvious signs.
We should have started with it.
We should have started with that. Okay, so one of the things I learned in my study of relationships and how to meet a girl, how to date, how to be a man, how to carry yourself. I wish some of my friends, I wish I known this earlier, but I think I learned it all in time, and at the right time for me. How to carry yourself, how to control your frame. A big part of my life being shy is about kind of chasing, right? You don't want to be chasing. That's the last thing, right? Because that's turn off, right?
Just a little bit chase and then step back and let girl chase you.
And let girl chase you. And that's exactly how it worked here. Mm-hmm. Perfectly, right? It just, when I learned some of the stuff I read Mystery Method, How to Get a Girlfriend by David Wygant. I could put some of those in the description below. And I started putting that into practice consciously. Now it's came to the level of hey, those people aren't interested in talking to you. Stop trying to talk to them. The thing would occur in my mind, and I wouldn't be as annoying as I have been otherwise. So I'd talk to her at church a little bit and leave her alone. Be like, oh, go talk to them. Talk to them. And what would that do to you?
I was like, why is he not talking to me? If he texted me on Instagram, that means he is interested in me, but he is not talking to me in person when we see each other in church. And I was like, well, I kind of want to talk to him.
Of course. Yeah. I want you to want me to talk to me. So, that helped a lot, didn't it? Mm-hmm. Because that kept the control on my end, mm-hmm. which a man needs to have full control. Because if he lets the girl have all the control.
I didn't know he was doing it on purpose.
Sometimes I would catch myself and do it, but I was also being very social, and I want to talk to everybody too. And I want to be friendly with everybody, and but so I wasn't really doing it on purpose most of the time, but a couple times I was like, hey, just to make sure I'm not too annoying, I'm going to talk to her for 2 minutes and then go talk to everybody else in church. And then when I was leaving with Mila, Lana, that one night in church, she kind of got in my face. I was out the door going to go get in their car. They, and you might have noticed them inviting me to go wherever, coffee or something they invited.
Yeah, because they were talking about YouTube and they kind of got on the same page
we
about
connected
YouTube.
With them on YouTube.
And I was like, well, what about me?
What about you? She does YouTube too, right? And so I went to get my bag or something, and I did say hi to Dasha at the church or something. And I'm on my way out the door, and she's in front of me. Dasha's like, "Hey, Serge, where are you going so fast?" or something, right? What did you say?
Yeah.
And she's like, "Where are you going so fast?"
I didn't really have anything to say to him.
She didn't have anything to say, but she wanted to stall me, and I completely seen that, and I was like, "Gotcha, busted, busted!" I seen it written all over your face. You like me. And you want me to spend time with you, but sorry, I gotta go. So that kind of made her feel. That was good, huh? Really good move on my end, mm-hmm. Showing that I'm social, and you guys need to do that. Some of the people, Martin, I don't know, hate to bring you up again as an example, but you got to be social with everybody, and not too social with the one that you like. And I was like, but I didn't even know you that well, so then
I wasn't really really upset that he didn't like talk to me, but I was doubting if he likes me or not because he was acting kind of like he likes me. Oh, but at the same time, he was like talking to a bunch of other people and not like paying attention to me because.
So you were like naturally not sure.
Yeah.
How I feel about it, which is what you want the girl to be, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then, curiosity kills the cat, you know. So she was curious.
I did want you to like me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I like you. I like you.
Cool.
Yeah, I like you. I like you, babe. So that was like the first indicator of interest, or like one of the indicators of interest that I was like, okay, I can do some huge compliance test, you know. So the way you do it is you look for indicators of interest, or you try to make indicators of interest if there isn't, and then you go for compliance until there's no compliance, and then you go back to indicators of interest. So that's what Mystery Method talks about in great detail, but that was a major indicator of interest. And then the second indicator of interest is when I ended up at the Wednesday night leadership meeting with Anton and Mila, and randomly she's there and I'm there, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's there, and I could see her a little bit bored looking at her phone way too much when you're supposed to be paying attention to what the pastor is saying.
Oops.
Tell me what happened that night.
I didn't expect him to sit there because it was like leaders from church meeting, and he was like random guy 2 times been at church, so I did not expect him to sit there.
I was going to sit next to you.
But then when I saw you there, I was like, wow, yes, he's there.
And I might have seen that a little bit on your face. And so while we were eating, I was like, oh, hey, nice to see you here. And turn around. Too. I was like, hey, nice to see you here. Yeah. Hey, Alex, how are you, buddy? Old pal, missed you, man. So good to see you, right? Like I was acting like that. That's when I was like, let's test this. Right? Did you notice that while eating? No, you were like a little bit like...
No, I think we were just like looking at each other a couple times.
Yeah, and I was like, maybe there's some indicator, and then I was like, I got to make sure not to
smiling a little bit, looking at each other.
You might have been trying to get me to smile. Honey,
like,
if you love me, would you please smile?
Not now.
So I was like, whatever I do, I just can't sit next to her.
Oh, really?
No, I don't think that, but I seen.
But then he...
Well, no, I consciously thought I can sit down first and have an empty spot and see where you sit, and give you the possibility to sit next to me.
But I sat in front of you.
She sat directly across from me, so I was sitting next to Marina and Alex, and I was like, okay, so she's trying to sit across from me. Guess what? Boom, boom, I'm gone in the corner sitting next to our friend.
He went far.
Oh, who did I sit next to?
Lana.
Yes. And I was like slowly chatting with Lana in the corner. And how did that make you feel?
I could barely see you, but then when you messaged me on Instagram,
and then
I was like, okay,
I could keep an eye. And yeah?
Yeah.
You thought I liked you then when I messaged you? That moment.
I just like made sure that you like me.
It confirmed that I liked you. Because you're like, oh, he's just...
Yeah, he was like, nice jacket.
Yeah, I was... No, nice shoes. Nice shoes.
No,
you had
said
those...
jacket.
No, the shoes.
No, you said jacket.
Jacket?
Спорим.
For what?
No, I had the jacket on. So
no, I told you.
You were like, nice jacket.
Are you sure it wasn't the shoes?
Yes.
Yeah, but you're right. It was the nice jacket, but I was really thinking about the shoes. I like those shoes too.
Really?
Yeah, I was really thinking about it. So I said, nice jacket, and boom, I see her phone light up, and she checks the phone while you're supposed to be paying attention to what the pastor's saying.
Looked at him.
Yeah, she looked at me, made contact. I smiled a little.
Yeah.
She smiled back, and I was like, okay, cool.
And I told you, nice shirt.
yeah, she checked. Yeah, then she messaged me back, nice shirt. So I was like, okay, cool. Because I want to start some kind of rapport or continue the rapport going, even though what we're supposed to be paying attention. Or you're supposed to be paying attention. I'm there just randomly, you know. I wasn't a leader in the church.
I was doing both.
So she was doing both. Okay. Just multi. So it's time for us to leave, and Anton's like, get in the car, Serge. The car's over there, out the door. And
I was like, again, he's leaving without talking to me.
Yeah. So I said something to her. Nice to see you. Something it would be cool to see you again. Whatever. We didn't even go. We haven't gone out yet though.
No,
that
it was
time.
the next day. Paddleboard. It was Thursday, and it happened.
Oh
on Wednesday,
yeah, this was the day before our first.
So I didn't know if he liked
We didn't
me or
know.
not.
Yeah, we didn't even go paddleboarding yet. I haven't given you my number yet.
Yeah.
I gave you the number the next day. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So as I walk out the door, getting my shoes on, I hear behind me a voice saying, "Why am I even following him out the door?" А чё я за ним иду вообще? Boom, turns around.
We were talking, and then and then Anton was like, "Yeah, Serge, let's go." And you went with Anton, and I was kind of following you. And then I was like, "Oh my gosh, why am I following him? If he is leaving, and I'm staying."
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, she still wants to talk to me."
And I thought I said it in my mind, in my head.
Yeah.
But I guess I said
she
it
said
out
loud. And then I messaged her on Instagram. I was like, did you just say that out loud? Because I heard it. And she was like,
so embarrassed.
I was like, I heard it. So I knew that was a really powerful indicator of interest. And I was like, okay, it's time to give her my number and ask her to call me. And that's what I did the next day. Mm-hmm. And I hope you learned something from this because it took me a lot of study in relationships and stuff like that on how to carry myself in a way to be attractive, to attract a girl such as yourself. So, and here you are.
I did not learn anything. I did not study anything. I just followed my heart.
Well, I followed my heart too, but you got to do it with tact and style and, a system. Yeah, so this is coming up to be an hour long. So then what else could we share? What else happened? In church, maybe another,
That's it.
Oh, Applebee's. What? Yeah, I tried to get everyone to go to Applebee's. Mm-hmm. I mean, but there nothing happened except we're just having fun. That was just fun.
Yeah, we had a couple other things that we went with our friends and we were there without like showing everybody that we chatted.
Oh yeah, in
talking.
Church. Okay, so after we kind of agreed that we like each other and we still got to go to church, and I was like, well, I don't really want to let everyone know and sit next to her. I didn't even look at her. I talked to her less at church.
Tell that.
And then I would and then I looked back once and I winked at her, and you know what she did? She winked back at me, and I was like, I know that our secret communication is going on in church, and nobody's seeing it except me. So that was pretty special.
Like looking at you, like, would you turn around?
Yeah, and then finally,
and then you turned finally around.
Yeah, and I was like, "Hey, hello, I missed you, pal. Wish you were sitting next to me, pal." And she'd wink back. Right, that was important, huh? Mm-hmm. It's good to keep the rapport going. That's what I learned in all this, in this relationship, and I learned to just. Keep the rapport going.
Yeah, he was kind of настойчив, как сказать.
Progressive, leading.
Yeah, but
to the point. But within reason. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was.
That's what I liked. He was straight to the point and told, like, everything he was thinking about me.
So then on the way back from Jacksonville, from Biltmore Estate on the motorhome, my friend Mike calls me, and all this time we're like entertaining trucking jobs and stuff. My friend Mike's like, Serge, I need you, pal. You're the only guy on the planet that can rescue my abandoned Peterbilt truck. It's brand new. We bought it 1 month ago in November. It only had 11,000 miles on it, and the driver just left it at a Walmart with a key in it. I need you to fly out to it. Where are you? I said, Jacksonville. He said, please. He said, I don't care if I got to buy you 2 plane tickets. And so that's what we did. Parked the motorhome. And in Jacksonville at a storage, took a rental car, and by midnight that day, we drove from Jacksonville to Kentucky and we found where this abandoned truck is. And
that was crazy night and crazy trip.
I was like, hey, please do this. We had a little bit of like uncomfortable.
I was so uncomfortable. I was almost in Miami, like 5 hours away from Miami, and I missed it. I
mean,
so
I did offer, like, say, hey, if you want, we'll buy you a flight even from Jacksonville or something. You know, I kind of entertained that, but you still kind of wanted to go along. Why?
You didn't say that.
I didn't say that.
No, you were like,
Would
Dasha,
you have taken a flight?
You were like, Dasha, I gotta go rescue that truck, and you're going with me. That's what you said.
You agreed, but you didn't like it 100%, right?
I didn't want to go, but I wanted to be with him. That's why I went.
Oh, okay. So then we went, and so we rescued the truck at midnight. I called my buddy. I said, Mike, the truck's fine. I got it. He said, okay, go while I figure out what for you to do, get a load or what, go check out Noah's Ark, the Ark Encounter. So then we went on a hot date.
Check the video from Noah's Ark later?
Yeah, we went on a little visit to Noah's Ark, which was great. And then we drove that truck to Minnesota and had a chance to meet the rest of my relatives. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of convenient.
Yeah, but our trip to Savannah, that supposed to be like a week long,
it
turned out to be a month long.
Yeah, and then Mike is like, well, before I find the new driver for the truck, can you go deliver a hot load? I'll pay you some money. I was like, you want to make some money? You know, because I'm running low, spending it all on you. She's like, okay, let's go. And so we ended up going on a trucking trip to Boston and back. We wanted to see the city of Boston, but we just couldn't because they gave us a load back right away. And then my truck came back to Minnesota. And I was like, you want to drive my truck to Florida? And that's what we did. And so now we're in Florida with my truck and deciding what we're going to do. That's our situation. And engaged, planning a wedding, all this crazy stuff. We're getting married. We're getting married. We're not telling you when yet. But should we say when we think it could possibly be?
Yeah.
Yeah?
May, June.
We're thinking May, June, 12th through 15th of June, actually. So haven't narrowed it down completely, but, right? That's what we think it's going to be?
Mm-hmm. Sometime in June.
Well, no, you told me 12, 14, 15. I have to be the one that makes all the serious decisions in this relationship.
So we don't know yet.
It depends on a lot of things. But no, we got to make a serious announcement soon. Within a week, can we update them? Because, I mean, all my friends. And should we invite everyone from YouTube? Let me know in the comments. That could be really dangerous and crazy. But sure, but we
got a lot of stuff to think about
and
figure out. So
message me and comment if that's something. But yeah, maybe a few of you would show up. I don't know, 10 of you that I've never seen your face. That'd be good, right? Maybe 10 people from YouTube can come.
Yeah.
What if like 1,000 people message us and say? That'd be crazy. That cost us like.
Разыграем.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you get.
Like if you invite 100 subscribers to our channel, then you get a chance to attend our wedding or something like that. No?
Wait, сейчас разыграем?
Да нет, потом.
No, okay, in the next video. Yeah, so that's how our relationship is going and started, and it's all God. I mean, every time we think about it, we're like, I'm so glad I met you. And the only way it happened was God. Like, a lot of things went really wrong, but so right.
Yeah. For
it to happen, it's just like, it's a miracle, and I'm really thankful to have you in my life. Thanks for showing up. That's what I always tell her. Thanks for showing up in my life. So we appreciate you being officially introducing her in this video to the channel. You may have seen her in some other videos. This is my wife-to-be, Daria, an ex-basketball player, professional basketball player. There's
number 44.
Number 44. So I like her a lot. I know I've talked most in this video, but maybe she could tell you more about herself in another video. If you want her to do that, comment below. You would tell, right? Like a lot. Well, a lot of interesting stuff she learned in her basketball career, and I think you all would like it. And it's time for us to go meet with the pastor. So let's talk to you another day.
Let's go to.
Let's go meet the pastor, and hopefully he'll give us the blessing for the wedding. Bye.
Bye.